Aloha no. I'd like to talk a little bit today about the passing of a loved one. My kid sister Penny passed away about a week ago on Friday morning. And I'd flown over to the Big Island to spend time with her while she was in the hospital, but she was pretty far gone by that time. I went every single day and spent a couple hours every day with her and making sure she was comfortable, talking to the nurses, giving her light and love the whole time. And even though she was mostly unconscious, she heard every word I said, and I actually raised smiles from her, even in her state. The thing that I say today is one of the greatest honors and finest things that one can do in its finite life is to be with someone, especially a loved one, when they pass over on the other side of that veil into the next part of their life. And I was very fortunate to have been able to be there with my baby sister. I spent those several days with her in the hospital, comforting her and speaking with her, even though it seemed like she couldn't hear me. And I assure you that she indeed did, and that she appreciated me being there. She stayed with us for a few days, waiting for the arrival of her daughter from out of state, and within 3 hours of her arrival, Penny passed into the next realm, knowing that her daughter was with her. Now, being the eldest in my family, it falls to me to be able to lend comfort, hope, and quell fears of the younger ones in my family. So for the next week that my niece was there, we spoke about the wonderful things that her mother had done, and for everyone, and how independent she was. And we talked about the beautiful places that they've been together and things that they'd done together then. And we looked at photo albums and thought about the wonderful and happy moments. And we addressed the grief. We addressed the anger and the disappointments in ourselves that we'd not been able to do more for Penny. But primarily, we talked about what was the beauty of life and the beauty of the next part of our life. You see, no matter what you do while you're on this planet, no matter how much you do your best, and no matter how you try to live pono, there will be disappointments. Disappointments in yourself, disappointments in others, and of course, other people's disappointments in you, thinking that you should have been better or you should have done more. None of that matters. Not when you pass. What matters is the wonderful memories that you leave behind and the way that you treated people while you were here. We talked about all these things, my niece and I. And after her brother arrived, we got to talk more about those wonderful memories. In my culture, the culture of my family and my ancestors, we write an oli, or a chant, or a poem about our loved ones. We call it kanikau. Now, it doesn't necessarily use the name of that person. It uses memories and thoughts of wonderful things that we had done together, places that we'd been in our lifetime, and things that we're reminded of when we think of that person. It can take some time for that story, for that oli, to develop. It doesn't always come quickly, but it's there. It's in your heart. It's in your love, in your memory. Well, this is when we ask our ʻAumākua to help us remember. Our ancestors will help us through the grief. They remind us that now our loved one is with them, and that they too are now ʻAumākua. That they still are with us, and they still send their love and their protection to their loved ones and their descendants. This is what they do. Our ʻAumākua do not want to see us suffer, so they lend us pleasant memories to help us through our grief.